despite having a runner on in 6 of the 7 innings, they left 11 runners on and fell 2-0 to the Chicago Warriors. Game 2 looks to be a different story with the A's putting their star pitcher Jared Reclitis on the mound, but they are against the CSBL Pitcher of the Year, Caleb Martinez. I'm Lucas Scholz. I'm here with my side partner, Mike Martin. And you want to go through the A's defense to start off?
Yeah, defensively for Sheboygan, they have Jimmy Jurgensen at first, Sawyer Kolakowski at second, Harry Stultz at third, Blaine Bradford is at shortstop, Nick Tenney's in left, Calvin Kiesler in center, and Chase Hanselman out in right. Cal Casper is doing the catching, and you mentioned Jared Reclitis on the mound, and you know, we had some pretty good pitchers out there in the first game. It's just you can't leave 11 guys on base and expect to win.
Yep, and the starting lineup for Chicago, the top 4 are the same with Joe Perona, Anthony Nino, but he's a DH and not catching today. Vinny Markovic, John Greenwood hitting cleanup. Luca Morelli is hitting 5th. Julian Cabanin is the 6th-hole hitter. Hitting 7th, Tim Witchker is back at 3rd base. Morgan Wachtler is hitting 8th, and then rounding out is Christian Kobayashi at 2nd base.
Yeah, Kobayashi's got a real long name, but it's actually very easy to say because you just read it and it just, it's how it is. Flows right off your tongue.
Leading off, Joe Perona had 2 hits in Game 1, and he's been one of the best players overall for Chicago last year and already into this year. First pitch from Reclitis is fouled left side, and it'll be 0-1.
Couple of changes in the Sheboygan lineup with Kiesler moving from left to center. Gus Walker not starting this game.
Next pitch to Perona is lined up the middle for a base hit, and the Warriors will have the leadoff runner on to start the game. Perona another hit, and the last 2 times he's played the A's, he's got 8 hits in now 4th game.
2 other changes for Sheboygan up the middle. Instead of Palmquist at short, it's Blaine Bradford and Sawyer Kolakowski starting at second instead of Lesnick. Casper did not see any action in Game 1. He's starting behind the plate today.
Reclitis sent ready to throw to Anthony Nino, is grounded right back to Reclitis. Goes a second for 1 and 2, double play. Jared Reclitis, another turn double play on that pitch back to the mound. We've seen a couple of those already this year.
What was interesting on that play, Lucas, is that traditionally when you have a right-handed hitter, the second baseman takes the throw and then relays, but because it was such an easy play, Kolakowski gave Bradford the opportunity to catch and throw, which is a nice, easier throw. You don't have to throw across your body. You're actually throwing in the direction that you're moving.
Yeah, it's not an infield that really has much experience together either, with Kolakowski and Bradford in the middle. First pitch outside for ball 1.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. Next pitch ready from Reclitis is a grounder to second. Kolakowski fields and throws in time to retire the side. Chicago gets nothing, not 3 up, 3 down, turn a double play. Still 0-0. The A's coming up in the bottom of the first.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver.
Back to to Wildwood Park from the bottom of the first inning, and Calvin Kiesler will be the leadoff hitter for the A's. And he'll start off a lineup that contains him, and then Chase Hansman back at the 2-hole. Nick Tenney will be hitting third today after his 2-hit performance in Game 1. Harry Stelt hits cleanup. Jimmy Jurgensen hits 5th. Cal Casper, the catcher today, will be hitting 6th. 7th is Sawyer Kolakowski. He came in as a pinch runner in Game 1, but starting at 2nd today in Game 2. Blaine Bradford, another pinch runner, will be at shortstop, and then rounded out is Jason Sims, the DH.
Defensively, Chicago has made several changes. Their catcher this game is Luca Morelli, and pitching is Caleb Martinez. Greenwood stays at first, but Kobayashi is at second. That's a change. And Cabanin is still at short, as is Witchker at third.
First pitch is bounced in, and it'll be 1-0 to Calvin Kiesler. And Caleb Martinez was a guy we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. He was the CSBL most outstanding pitcher at a 1.53 ERA last year. Next pitch taken high, it'll be 2-0. But it was kind of a weird stat with him. He had more walks than strikeouts. Now, he didn't strike out a whole ton of batters either, just 24 of them in 35 innings, but still a little bit weird stat. Next pitch is high again, 3-0.
One other change for Chicago out in right field is Wackler instead of Minami, who is out there.
And Kiesler draws a quick 4-pitch walk. And that'll bring up Chase Hanselman. Hanselman didn't have a great Game 1, but he's been really good for the A's so far this year, already having 5 RBIs.
Crowd is thinned out a little bit for Game 2 on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Game time temperature 59 degrees, remains sunny.
Lined in the gap in left center field. That one's going to get down into the gap. And it'll be Kiesler at third, and a single for Chase Hanselman. Third and first, got him on the corners, nobody out.
One thing that Perona did that was very smart is he threw it to the cutoff man. Hanselman was looking to go to second if that ball would have went over the cutoff man's head, but as soon as the cutoff man got it, Hanselman had to retreat to first.
Now it's Nick Tenney in third. All outside, 1-0. Tenney looking to be the first 8 out of Corden RBI today.
Yeah, and Sheboygan looking to stop a 3-game losing streak to the Warriors.
Grounder, that'll get a run in, but Tenney will be thrown out at first. But he advanced runner and scores a run. The A's get their first run of the day, and they take the lead 1-0.
Witchker was looking to come home with that throw, but when he bobbled it, he realized he had no chance and threw to first to get the out.
I think even if he would have came right away, I don't even know if he would have gotten Calvin Kiesler.
Harry Stelt.
Harry Stelt hitting cleanup today. Martinez looks back, Hanselman at second. The first pitch is in there for strike 1, right down the middle. Harry, not a guy, as we've talked about before, that swings at a lot of first pitches. Martinez looks in, ready for the 0-1. Low, it'll be 1-1 now to Harry Stelt.
You mentioned about not swinging at first pitches in that second Kewaskum game. He swung at the first pitch for that sacrifice fly to give Sheboygan a 2-1 lead, and they went on to win.
The 1-1, Hanselman goes to third, and he's going to be out by plenty. Great throw back there by the catcher, who is Luca Morelli. Not Nino, but they both have great arms.
It wasn't even close.
Now instead of runner in scoring position for Harry, he's all by himself out there. 2-1 to him. Make it 3-1 as that one's outside.
Kenny Nazy coaching at third. I can't imagine him giving the steal sign.
Yeah, you'd have to think that was all Hanselman's doing. The 3-1 is up the middle and through for a base hit. Another one in the inning for the A's. That's the second one. Harry Steltz aboard, and that brings up Jimmy Jurgensen.
I know you mentioned something back in the first inning of game one when we had Hanselman thrown out trying to steal. We ended up loading the bases. You know, if he doesn't get thrown out, there's a potential run there. And I would think that Hanselman would have scored on that base hit.
3 runners thrown out on the base pass in game 1, and that's already 1 early in game 2. Jimmy Jurgensen swings and misses at the first pitch. It'll be 0-1. Jurgensen went 1 for 2 with a single. It was kind of a weird infield hit. Pitcher didn't really cover correctly, but hits a hit for Jimmy. Inside, it'll be 1-1 now on Jurgensen. Jimmy playing first base again today. He got taken out, pinch ran for in game 1. That one's fouled back. It'll be 1-2.
In game 1, we had 2 stolen bases and 3 times where we were thrown out on the steal attempts.
Tinez looks in, the 1-2 pitch to Jurgensen. Popped, foul, left side, and out play. Another payoff pitch to Jimmy. How about both their catchers for Chicago? Both having great arms. Nino and now Morelli. The 1-2 to Jurgensen. In there, called strike 3, and that'll end the inning. The A's get 1 on a ground out, score their first run of the day, and lead at 1-0. But through 1-0 A's. Back for the top of the second.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Back for the top of the second inning at Wildwood Park. The A's lead at 1-0. And leading off is John Greenwood for Chicago.
Greenwood in game 1, Lucas was 1 for 3, struck out a couple of times.
One of the 4 Chicago hits in game 1. Swings and misses here at the first pitch from Recklitis. Recklitis went 3 up, 3 down in the first inning. It took just 2 minutes total with the double play.
Bill was quick to point that out.
Fouls it right at the plate. 0-2 now on Greenwood.
The line score from game 1 was Chicago 2 runs, 4 hits. We talked about that a lot. They had no errors. Sheboygan, no runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. And that big 11 guys left on base was a killer.
Did he go? Did not. It'll be 1-2 now on Greenwood. Greenwood at first base today. He did not play first base in game 1.
He was a DH.
DH, yep. Called strike 3. Jared Recklitis gets his first strikeout of the day. Bring bring up Luca Morelli, who had already has a caught stealing of Chase Hanselman in the first inning. First pitch to Morelli, in there, strike one.
When we looked at the website getting ready for today's game, the Chicago website, it mentioned that their program is a developmental program, you know, starting with kids. I think it was U11 was the lowest team, and then working up to this college level team. But you know, some of those mistakes that they made in game one that didn't really cost them is things that you can work on as a team. You know, hopefully the guy covers the way he's supposed to do. The pitcher, I believe, made the two, you know, covering.
These guys, it's probably a lot of their first time playing with each other as their first game, and how much turnover there is on that roster.
Exactly.
Hey, I think he went on that one. No, he did not. 2-2, Morelli.
Paul Grauman, the home plate umpire for this game, and Peyton Kelling moving from behind home plate out to the bases.
Colitis, the 2-2 pitch to Morelli. High and outside. It'll be full count now to Morelli. Popped into the air, and looks like Bradford's got a read on it just behind the infield. And out number one. Out number two, excuse me.
Two hands for beginners.
I'll bring up Julian Cabanon. He was one of them that played in the same position in the game one. He went 0 for 3. Did reach and score on an error. One of the 2 runs for Chicago in game one.
I think Perona, Marvuchik.
That one to right field. And Hanselman is there. And that'll end the inning. The A's, another 1-2-3 inning, and it'll going to the bottom of the second. The A's up 1-0.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Bottom of the second inning at Wildwood Park. Cal Casper leads it off, catching today for the A's. He didn't play in game one, but quick start to the year. He's in 286 and attends, like we mentioned earlier, Winona State.
That's in Minnesota.
Yep, along with St. Olaf. But it'll be Casper, Kolakowski, and Bradford, the 3 due up.
On a side note, nothing to do with baseball, but if you go over to lacrosse, you just go straight across the state to lacrosse, go across to the other side of the Mississippi to Minnesota, and then you drive up towards Minneapolis. It's a beautiful drive, very scenic. One of the towns, of course, you go through is Winona.
Oh, look at that. Look how it all comes full circle like that. Casper ready to start off the bottom of the second. Martinez had a little bit of trouble in the first inning. Kind of mentioned that he's not a huge, real big strikeout pitcher. Did have a walk and a strikeout. First pitch is in there, strike one.
So we're talking about players in game two that played the same position in game one. Hanselman's in right, Stelz at third, and Jimmy's at first. Those are the 3 Sheboygan players. Chicago had 4. We'll go over that when they come back to bat. We got through a couple of them.
2 now to Cal Casper. High, and it's 1-2. Casper does have an extra base hit so far this year.
That was that hustle double.
Yeah.
He's got good speed.
1-2, just high. 2-2. A's didn't have a single extra base hit in game 1. 7 or 8 singles. Martinez ready for the 2-2. High and outside again, and 0-2 to 3-2 for Cal Casper. From Martinez.
Oh,
hit
ball.
the bat or hit?
Yeah, ticked off the bat. Tough
Foul
break.
ball.
Yeah, that was ball 4 too.
Yeah.
That happened to us in game 1.
Yeah, with Hanselman, I think it was off the knob. Yep.
Had a chance to talk with Tom Retzak between games. He's doing well, able to get around. He had some issues with his leg, had to get it amputated. And nice to see him back and ambling around. Still feisty as ever.
Martinez strikes out Casper for the first out of the inning. Second one on the day for Martinez, and that's back-to-back. Kolakowski now, the shortstop today for the second baseman, for the A's today. He did play in game 1, had an at-bat, grounded out, but he came in as a pinch runner late in that one. First pitch, swing and a miss.
Go ahead.
Martinez, a big in-play kind of pitcher, doesn't strike out a lot, doesn't walk a lot. So a lot of his outs come from in-play.
The pitch before this one, it looks like Martinez got pretty good giddy up on his fastball.
Yeah.
When he wants to.
The 1-1 to Kolakowski, another swing and a miss for Sawyer. He is generating a lot of swing and miss early on, at least. It's 1-2, 1 out. The A's are up 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch from Martinez. Swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Caleb Martinez.
His third of the game.
3 in a row, too. Blaine Bradford, the 8-hole hitter, another one of the guys that came in shortly for a pinch run opportunity. Stole a base, but did not come back in defensively. Replaced by Ty Wytek. First pitch to him. Pop foul right side, now to play. 0-1 to Blaine Bradford. Bradford from Brownsburg, Indiana, goes to Miles College. Outside, 1-1.
CJ, my wife says perfect. So you fixed it. Yeah, that's the problem. It's like we're working with computers. Now it works. What did I do?
1-1 now to Bradford. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
I think the big change is we got a new lead announcer.
Martinez has struck out his last 3. Another 1-2 count to Bradford. Make it his last 4. Martinez strikes out the side, and the A's go down quietly in the bottom of the second inning. Still 1-0 as we head to the top of the third.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Back for the top of the third inning and leading off is Tim Witchker. Recolytis back out there for his third inning of work. He's been pretty shut down the first 2 innings, only giving up the 1 hit, but he got a double play shortly after, so he has faced the minimum going to the top of third.
Right, to finish the thought that we had mentioned in the last half inning, Chicago has 4 players starting in game 2 that played the same position. Joe Perona in center, Vinny Marvuchik in left, Julian Cabanin in at short, and then Tim Witchker at third. So a lot of new guys for both teams.
Witchker, like you mentioned, is one of the guys in the same position. He's up at the plate right now. He's got a 1-1 count from Recolytis. Breaking ball just misses inside. 2-1 now to Witchker. Strike in there on the outside corner. It'll be 2-2 now. Witchker was 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1. Pitch from Recolytis. Up the middle. And it'll be a play for Bradford at short. Just beat him. And it'll be the first out of the inning. What a play from Blaine Bradford, a slow roller. Charged it perfectly.
Sheboygan was scheduled to have a doubleheader tomorrow. That was canceled. The team couldn't make it. So what they're going to do is have a inter-squad scrimmage at 1 o'clock. It's free to the and open to the public, so you can just walk in. I don't think the concession stand will be open, and there will be no broadcast of that practice, but it is open.
Very nice time for some of the substitutes to get more work in if they haven't really played so far yet this season.
I don't know about you, Lucas, but I think that last play, if that was Major League Baseball, would have been a review.
Too close to call. Time taken now by the 8-hole hitter, Morgan Walkler. One of the new ones for game 2. He's in right field. And the 0-1 to Walkler. In there, strike 2. 0-2 hole now for Walkler. Right where Recolytis likes to have him. The 0-2 from Recolytis. Swung on and missed for out number 2. Number 2 in the game for Recolytis. Bring up Christian Kobayashi.
Oh, it rolls right off your tongue. Kobayashi.
Nahabedian and then Kobayashi in the 9-hole today for Chicago. First pitch to him, low, 1-0. Pitch from Recolytis, another one, similar spot, 2-0.
Kobayashi playing at second base in this ball game. See what he's got.
That one flied to a little bit short center field. Bradford's there again, and he's got it for the third out. The A's retire the Chicago in order again, and through 2.5, it is still 1-0 A's.
Estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Ready for the bottom of the third inning from Wildwood Park. Caleb Martinez has struck out the last 4 he's faced, and he's going to face the 9-hole hitter Jason Sims to start off the bottom of the third. It'll be Sims, Kessler, and Hanselman.
When we talked about Caleb Martinez during game 1, I was expecting a lot more walks than we've had so far, only 1.
Yeah, in 35 innings last year, he had 25 walks to 24 strikeouts.
He's catching up this game.
He's one of 2 pitchers on Chicago to throw 30-plus innings last year. The other one was Jake Pullum, and he faced Sheboygan last year in one of the doubleheader games. Sims, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and goes to Marion University, very similar to Gus Walker, both from the same city and go to the same college.
Wonder if they drive together.
I wonder.
Jason Sims, the DH.
First pitch to Sims is inside. We were talking about earlier before the game, you don't see many DHs hit 9th.
No, what does that say about your club?
Sims ready for the 1-0.
Yeah, Jason normally plays outfield.
Yep. Second year with the A's. Played a decent amount last year. Sims fouls it right side, 1-2. A's with just the 1 hit, or 2 hits so far, but they do have a run, unlike game 1.
Sims got to bat 78 times last year. He only had 13 hits, but he did get in there. Had 3 doubles, a triple.
And he's ready for the 1-2 pitch from Caleb Martinez. And he floats that one in the right field, but it'll be just enough time to be caught by Walkler out there in right for the first out.
I think they had Sims played perfectly that time. The right fielder was not very deep and just had to come in a little bit. Normally you'll see that right fielder deeper, you know, and then all of a sudden it becomes a very hard play to make.
Well, that's a trouble area, those little bloopers for the outfielders, but Walkler made that one look easy playing in, as you mentioned. Pitch is high to Kiesler. Calvin Kiesler's had quite the start to his season. He's 4 for 5, went 3 for 4 in his last game. Hit 800.
He walked and scored the only run in the ball game.
That one flied out to center field, and it'll be Perona, and he'll make the easy catch for out number 2.
Martinez, after striking out 4 Sheboygan A's in a row, is taking the easier route, not throwing quite so many pitches, but still getting the outs.
Hanselman up. He singled, but was thrown out at third base in first inning. Pitch to Hanselman is high. It'll be 1-0.
We mentioned Hanselman was the Rookie of the Year last year for the Sheboygan A's. Had a very nice season.
The 1-0 to Hanselman is inside again. It'll be 2-0.
Finished hitting 280, 164 at bats, had 11 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 homers.
He was a key part to that top of the order for the A's last year. 2-0 now to him. Inside a third time, 3-0. Goes goes to Ripon College from Nina. 3-0 to expect to take here from Hanselman, no matter location. And that one's in there. Strike one on the inside corner, 3-1. Bottom of the third, 3-1 count to Hanselman, and the A's are still up 1-0. 2 down. That one is launched to left field. And that one is going to be way out of here for Chase Hanselman. It'll be 2-0 A's on a bomb from Chase Hanselman.
Lucas, you forgot to tell us what it was.
Sheboygan A.
Well, that was a dandy. The left fielder, Marvuchek, went after it, but then he could see there was no chance. That was crushed.
That was launched. Chase Hanselman, what a hit. That's his first one on the year, and I'll bring up Nick Denny. See if we can follow that one up, go back to back maybe.
That's the third of his career.
First pitch to Denny is high, 1-0. Kind of see some people behind the fence trying to look for that ball back there. 1-0 to Tenney. High and outside, 2-0 to him. The A's have scored a couple runs off of the Chicago Suburban Baseball League Pitcher of the Year. 2-1 now.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, he took care of that scoreless streak by scoring in the first pretty quick. Getting the second run in the third is nice.
That one fly to right field. Running is Walkler, but it'll be the second baseman, but he won't have a chance at it. Foul ball, 2-2.
Makes you feel pretty good, too, with Reclitis on the mound.
Made you feel pretty good last game with Schmitz. He didn't even give
Yeah, right.
No. Schmitz still has a 0 ERA.
The pitching in the first game was not the problem for Sheboygan.
That one line foul, left side. It'll stay 2-2 on Tenney.
On the batting cage netting out there.
Don't see that too often. Tenney ready for the 2-2. That one popped foul and fouled back. It'll be 2-2 again.
And he's had some good swings at Martinez.
That one low and outside, 3-2. Looked like Martinez was rolling right along. He had retired the last 6 A's, and then Hanselman got the best of him, launched it over the left field fence. That one fouled again.
Kenny Nazy staying away from that ground ball. He's coaching third. Tim Moyer sitting on one of the tarps next to the dugout.
Tenney had 2 hits in the first game. Ready again for the full count pitch. Fouled again by Tenney. Have to see another 3-2 pitch.
I just had a pleasant thought. Maybe it wasn't switching the announcers. Maybe it was switching the third base coach.
Yeah.
Get Sheboygan some runs. CJ says, nope, it was the announcers.
Another 3-2 to Tenney. Grounder up the middle, fielded by the shortstop, and he doesn't have a play. He kind of lost it on the transfer, and Tenney will have a base hit.
So Tenney's got the RBI, the first RBI of the game, and now he's got a hit.
Solid start to his A's career. Harry Stelton clean up. He had a base hit his first time up. In there, strike one. 0-1 now to Harry.
Harry had another fine year last season and led the club with 5 home runs. See if he can get one here.
The 0-1 spiked into the dirt, and it'll be easy stolen base there for Nick Tenney.
Well, we'll call it a wild pitch.
Yeah. Probably a better option. Martinez, the 1-1 pitch. Stealth pops it up on the infield. It'll be an easy play for Watcher, and he's got it. And that'll end the inning. But the A's get one on a Chase Hanselman bomb, and it's now 2-0 as we're through 3 innings.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Top of the 4th inning at Wildwood Park, Jared Ricklitis has been shut down through the first 3 innings. And he's looking to continue that in the 4th, and he'll have to start off against Joe Perona.
All of Sheboygan's games so far have been exhibition games. They open league play next weekend with double headers at Addison on Saturday and Sunday, and then begin Northeastern Wisconsin League play on June 10th versus the Menasha Max. That's right here at Wildwood Park, a 7:30 game.
First pitch is outside, 1-0 to Perona. Perona the only hit against Ricklitis today, but he was quickly doubled off. Next pitch in there, strike 1. Ricklitis works fast. Not much time to think if you're Joe Perona in the box. 1-1, outside, 2-1.
Our next broadcast will be June 4th, that's a Wednesday, when the Sussex Cardinals come to town for an exhibition game, 7:30 start.
That'll be the last exhibition game until the A's really get in league play Addison that weekend. 2-2 now to Joe Perona. Fouled back, stays 2-2. Ricklitis has still faced the minimum his first time through the order, even though giving up the hit.
Sheboygan had a game rained out on May 21st. It was supposed to be against Manitowoc.
What a play by Jimmy Jurgensen, sliding to his right, makes the backhand stop, and gets the out himself.
Continuing, the Manitowoc thing was canceled. There was a Wednesday game, and we haven't heard anything if they're going to reschedule that exhibition game. You know, not critical, obviously, and with both teams getting into league play as we move along, you know, they may not want to play that game. So.
And normally the exhibition games are the ones that they don't reschedule.
Exactly.
Ricklitis ready to start off. A swing and a miss by Nino. Nino was the victim of that double play. Hit it right at Ricklitis, and a quick 1-6-3 double play. The 0-1 now to Nino. fouled right side, now to play.
So Brad pitched 2 innings to finish game 1. If Jared is not able to go the rest of the way, do you think they come back with him at all in game 2?
I don't know. That's a very high possibility, especially you know how much Brad loves to pitch, especially when he gets in multiple innings at least. Reglitis ready for the 1-2 to Nino. Grounder foul left side.
Lucas mentioned about the leadoff hitter Perona getting on in the first, but from that point on, Chicago has done nothing.
Yep, face the middle like I mentioned earlier. Golias is doing what he normally does. The 1-2 spiked in there, 2-2. Only 2 strikeouts for Reglitis. Normally you see a little bit more.
You know what I was thinking? That's probably okay because he's not throwing as many pitches. Go deeper in the game.
2-2 now from Reglitis. Swung on him, missed by Nino, and that's the second out of the inning. Just talked about it, but there's his 3rd strikeout. It's always with Reglitis too. That'll be Markovic. A's up 2-0. One of those courtesy of the Chase Hanselman home run that came in the 3rd inning. Lightest in there, strike 1.
Vinny was 0 for 2 in game 1, but he did walk the first 2 times up. Nothing came of that.
0-1. Grounder to second. Kolakowski fields easily, and easy toss over to Jurgensen, and that will retire the side. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for Jared Reglitis. The A's still lead at 2-0 through 3.5.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
The definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Then her dad walked in. Dude, we're done eating. Use a napkin. You serious? Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious. Why so serious?
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Bottom of the 4th inning, and Caleb Martinez's day is done. And he'll lead the way for Brad Crawford to take over through the 4th inning. Martinez pitched a solid 3 innings. He had 4 strikeouts. All of them came consecutively. Gave up 2 earned runs and 1 walk through 3 innings. In line for the loss if the score stays the same.
Yeah, Martinez did all right. You know, given the stats you talked about coming into the game with Martinez, he did very well, only walking 1 batter.
Well, uncharacteristic for him to give up 2 runs in 3 innings, though. But first game of the year, non-league game.
Just get your arm loose.
Jimmy Jurgensen to lead off the bottom of the 4th for the Sheboygan A's. He had a hit in his last game out, and he's hitting .267 early on in this season.
Now there's been a lot of athletes in various sports that wore number 44 and were famous. Hank Aaron, the most famous around here, obviously.
Jurgensen, the first pitch, outside, 1-0.
Willie McCovey, the Giants.
McCovey Cove.
Back in the day.
Outside again, 2-0 now to Jimmy Jurgensen.
This is before your time, Lucas, but do you remember a Green Bay Packer by the name of Donnie Anderson? He was number 44. At the time, it was called the $1 Million Backfield. Donnie Anderson and Jim Grabowski, I think it was the fullback.
Jurgensen got 3-0 count, waiting, and 4 outside pitches, and Jurgensen will take a 4-pitch walk. Cal Casper, the 6-hole hitter for the Sheboygan A's today.
He caught a tough break in that first at bat. He had 3 balls on him, and that pitch went inside, hit off his bat, and then he wound up striking out.
He is part of that strikeout chain from Martinez. That one's a low ball 5 from Crawford. Another one inside, and he's missed 6 times with the same exact location.
This is not what the manager had in mind when he brought him in.
Crawford looks in, 2-0, 3-0, again, the same location. Jurgensen on first, and Cal Casper, the hitter, 3-0 to him. Crawford looking for his first strike, and missed again, same spot again. 8 balls in a row thrown by Crawford. And that'll bring out the manager, Joe Perona, Sr.
That'd be Joe Perona Sr. His son, Joe Perona Jr., out in center field.
Joe Perona Jr. has got the only hit for Chicago early on.
CJ, why don't you play that clip from Bull Durham, where they meet on the mound and talk about what wedding present they're going to get. Hey, if they take this guy out during the inning, can we have a little na-na-hey-hey? That's a maybe.
Sawyer Kolakowski is the 7-hole hitter for Sheboygan. Still looking for that first hit in his A's season. He has pitched, and he pitched pretty well in his one appearance. Crawford looks in, and again, ball 9. And he's missed 9 times in the same exact inside part of the plate.
So at what point do we start feeling bad for Brad Crawford?
10. Oh, called strike. Look, again, he threw a strike button, same spot. I look inside if I'm Sawyer Kolakowski here on the 1-1. Swung on him, missed by Kolakowski, 1-2.
Crawford with a good breaking pitch there.
I switched it up.
Yeah, threw a strike.
Got some confidence back, and he's ready for the 1-2 to Kolakowski. 2 runners on, no one out. Inside, 2-2.
Sawyer's not looked to bunt at all this at bat.
You think if not him, maybe playing Bradford would put one down on deck. 2-2. And it hit him. Bases are loaded with no one out for Sheboygan, and Brad Crawford has not had a great feel for the zone so far.
Not at all. Great opportunity for Blaine Bradford.
Yes, it's not a unique opportunity for them today. They've had multiple times in game one where they had the bases loaded. Looking to capitalize this time around.
Yeah, bases loaded without scoring in the first and second. And a third opportunity. Let's see if we can get some runs.
That one
they
hit
do.
Bradford, and that'll bring in a run. And it's all going wrong for Brad Crawford so far. 3-0 Sheboygan on 2 walks and 2 hit by pitches. Nothing in play yet. Kind of wonder how long does he stay in the game? How many options do they have?
Yeah, right. Jason hit out to right field his first at bat, and
inside.
The right fielder, to me, looks like he's deeper than he was the first time. And if Jason were able to hit it in the same spot, I think he's got a base hit. I don't know if he can catch up to that.
Yeah, it would be a close play over there for Walkler out there in right. 1-1 from Crawford. The A's can really pull away. This is the inning where they can really put Chicago away. 2-1 now. End that 3-game losing streak like you mentioned earlier, Marty.
Right.
Against Chicago.
And actually a 2-game losing streak on the season with the loss to Kewaskum the other night and then the first game here.
3-1. 2 different tales of games, though, those 2 losses. One of them was more pitching, and then last game was definitely the offense. 3-1 now, and you would have to assume that Jason Sims will not be swinging. Yeah, sure enough.
Great call, Mr. Announcer.
I wouldn't have swung.
CJ, does he still have rookie status even though he announced a few games last year?
That one grounder past the outstretched glove of Witchker, and that'll bring in at least 2 runs. Jason Sims gets his first hit on the year, and the A's extend their lead to 5-0. And he was better he swung at that 3-1 pitch then.
Yeah. Everything worked out great. And we're still in the driver's seat.
First and second now for Kiesler, the leadoff hitter, and he's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field.
Now we are 0 for 2 on bases loaded situations in game 1. Does this make us 2 for 2 in this game?
No.
Walk with the bases loaded, scored a run, and then the single for 2 more runs with the bases loaded?
Steele got another hit by pitch. Kiesler will be on first base, and another bases loaded opportunity for the A's. Bradford was on the move, and it looked like he probably was going to get in there easily. But hit by pitch for Kiesler. And that's 6 batters.
I go back to my point. We got the bases loaded again. It's another opportunity. Does it, is it apart from the other? Or is it all one?
Normally they use like the runners in scoring position. Inside again, and Crawford. The strike zone's a little bit over to the left. You might have
no action in the Chicago bullpen.
6 batters face, none retired for Crawford, and he faced Chase Hanselman. That one, grounder past the outstretched glove of Witchker again, and that'll more likely bring in another 2 runs for the A's. Throw is cut off, and they'll have Kiesler will be out at third, but the A's get another 2 runs. But I guess the positive for Crawford, he finally gets an out. The first extra...
No, a single.
The A's remain without an extra base hit as another single beside the Chase Hanselman homer, of course. But they do extend their lead to 7-0, and that ends a rocky outing for Brad Crawford.
Had trouble finding the plate for sure, and that's what cost him.
A's offense has come alive in game 2.
Looks like Tom Eck is out there pitching, number 38. Or is it 36? I like Eck better. It's nice and short.
Yeah. 6-letter name, Tom Eck. Tom Eck, the new pitcher for the Chicago Warriors. Hopefully he can provide a little bit more success. Final line is not complete yet with Hanselman out there at second base, but 1/3 of an inning for Brad Crawford, and he faced 7.
Gave
and
up
the
2
only out
hits.
He got was on the thrown out at third base for Kiesler, and like you mentioned, 2 hits.
2 hits. Pardon me, 2 walks and 3 hit by pitches.
Yeah.
No strikeouts, of course.
Yeah, how do you like to forget? I'm sure. Nick Tenney will be the one to greet Tom Eck, and then it'll be Harry Steltz and Jimmy Jurgensen, if it reaches that far. A's lead 7-0, and when we come back, Hanselman will be at second base. Eck is ready to face Tenney.
Tenney's 1 for 2 with an RBI.
3 hits combined through the 2 games.
Could almost call him the hitting star almost. Except Hanselman with 3 for 3 today. In this game, I mean.
That one's strike, and it starts off 0-1. I think the first batter of this inning that Chicago pitcher has gotten ahead of. Tenney ready for the 0-1 from Eck. That one's just outside, 1-1.
Hanselman's on second base. His hit goes as a single, and then he advances on the throw to third. Did get 2 RBIs though.
Outside, 2-1. Sure, Harry would love to hit with 2 runners on. He stands on deck behind Tenney. That one grounder right back at Eck, and he'll make an easy toss, but Hanselman will advance to third. 2 down now for Harry Steltz.
Harry's a 9th man. It's a hit in the inning.
And just 2 hits, like you were saying earlier. Harry came into the game hitting .250. He went 0 for 3 in game 1, and he's got a hit today. That one just outside, 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. The A's up 7-0 on Chicago and 2 down for Harry Steltz. That one's in there. Looks like a very similar spot to the first pitch, but that one's called a strike.
I think Harry's standing up there and thinking the same thing.
Hanselman leads off third for Harry Steltz. That one foul. And under the legs of Nazy out there at third base coach.
Kenny was a really good third baseman when in his playing day with Sheboygan.
Makes sense why his son Jacob plays third base. For the
Yeah,
A's.
exactly.
Harry ready for the 1-2. Struck him out swinging, and that'll finally put an end to this inning for Chicago. The A's get 5 more and lead at 7-0 now over Chicago as we're through 4.
Whenever you shop Meyer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me spells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot. Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. The definition of flavor.
Back for the top of the 5th inning, and Nicolaitis had a pretty long break to gather himself as the A's got 5 runs. He'll be back out there for the 5th, facing the middle of the order, 4, 5, 6, with Greenwood, Morelli, and Cabanon. First pitch from Nicolaitis. In there, strike 1.
I saw Dad Randy in the house. I didn't see Mary. I don't know if she's here. Randy and Mary are Jared's parents.
Nicolaitis, the 1-1 now to Greenwood. That one's in there, 1-2 now. Nicolaitis has been dominant so far, still facing the minimum as we're entering the 5th inning. Just allowing the 1 hit. Struck him out swinging. Another one for Jared Nicolaitis. That gives him 4 now.
Not a big strikeout, Dave, but a very efficient outing so far in terms of pitch count.
Sometimes all you can ask for, especially when your team's up by as much as the A's are, just pound the strike zone. First pitch to Morelli is fouled back. It'll be 0-1. Just Morelli's second plate appearance. He popped out to Blaine Bradford at short his last time up.
You had mentioned earlier in the game that Morelli looks very good back behind home plate, has a good throwing arm. Anthony Nino caught the first game. He looked very good behind home plate, throwing to the bases. Pretty much shut down the Sheboygan running game.
That's for sure. And the A's have a lot of speed throughout their order, even with the pinch runners. It's kind of surprising to see their running game shut down like that. 2-1 now to Morelli. That one is popped in the air. Looks like it'll stay fair. Jurgensen's got a play and it rolls out of the glove. And it'll be 2-2.
Air.
Tough play for Jurgensen. He had a long way to go to get that one, but play he probably thinks he should have made.
We're playing hardball up here today, Lucas. There was a little confusion about who was going to go get it, and Jared looked like he had a chance. Casper might have had a chance at it. Jimmy called and couldn't make the play.
Another strikeout for Jared Nicolaitis, make it 5 of them as Morelli goes down on the check swing.
And the air doesn't matter.
Yep. Kind of a tough situation if you're Tim Moyer, the way that Nicolaitis is pitching. You don't want to pull him, but you know, these exhibition games, they like to get the substitutes in and everything.
Good point. Yep.
See how he plays it. First pitch in there with the breaking ball, 0-1.
Sometimes if you can get your other players in the games like this, you know, get them some game experience, can pay dividends down the road.
again, he's also got the inter-squad scrimmage to work with tomorrow, where a lot of his guys can get some play
Right.
time.
Yep. So got to weigh that in there too. If they don't pitch today, they'll get in there tomorrow.
The 0-2 from Recleus looking to strike out the side in the 5th. And that one's popped foul, right side and out of play. Stay 0-2 on Cabanon.
I wonder if they wear their game uniforms tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I think they might. They might not.
Check swing.
Guess you'll just have to come to the park to find out.
And he got him swinging, and that is another strikeout for Recleus, and he strikes out the side in the 5th. The A's through 4.5 still lead the Chicago Warriors 7-0.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Back for the top of the 5th inning. Looks like a new pitcher out there for. Nope, it's still Neck out there.
Eck.
Excuse me. Bottom of the 5th inning, and it'll be Jurgensen, Casper, and Kolakowski. A's offense has been fueled by that previous inning in the 4th with a ton of walks, a ton hit by batters, and a couple hits.
One of the Hall of Famers for Sheboygan is Tom Eckert, and his nickname, of course, was Eck.
Maybe he's named after him.
Yeah. We're not going to go with a quiz question this game, unless you want to, because I got the questions right here. It's up to you.
We can do it if we want.
All right, we'll do it. I'll read the question. This Hall of Fame second baseman was the team's MVP twice and is the franchise leader with 72 sacrifice bunts. Were you guys paying attention down there?
Ty Witek will be the pinch hitter.
Trivia questions are more important than pinch hitters.
First pitch to Witek is low. 1-0 to Witek.
This is for the edification of the press box. This Hall of Fame second baseman was team MVP 2 times and is the franchise leader with 72 sacrifice bunts.
Last thing Chicago wants to do is start another inning off with a walk. Witek looks at 3-0. That one's in there, strike one. Swing and a miss from Witek, and the count is full at 3-2.
Witek got in game one, but did not get to bat.
Eck looks in and the full count to Witek. Just outside, and Witek works a walk to start off this 5th inning.
I got a question for you, Lucas. When Witek is in the game, do you write out his last name, or you just put the letter Y and then Tech after it?
Well, I write out his name.
Okay.
I don't really know how to spell part of his last name, so I just kind of write it quick. So I can't tell.
I've been just going with Witek. Just to clear the air on that, his last name is spelled W-Y-T-E-K.
Pitch to Casper is a little popped out there to right, but Walkler's got it easily. And that's the first out of the inning. One down, and that'll be Sawyer Kolakowski will be the next one up for the A's. Kolakowski had a strikeout, and then he got hit by a pitch in the fourth. In there, strike one from Eck. Eck looks in, he's ready for the 0-1 pitch to Kolakowski. That one's a back pick, but in there is Witek.
Kolakowski looks pretty good on the infield. Pretty good fundamentals, getting in front of the ball, and certainly has a good enough arm.
Yeah, we've seen him at shortstop a little bit. Made a couple nice plays out there. That one's low, 2-1. He's got a ton of speed too. That's why we see him as a pinch runner a lot of times. Eck ready for the 2-1 pitch to Kolakowski is fouled back, 2-2.
Be interesting to see if Tim Moyer is able to get him on the mound a little bit more. He looked pretty good that one game he was in earlier this season.
Last year he was almost exclusively a pitcher, didn't hit a whole lot. And early on this year has been more
in the field.
2-2 now to Kolakowski. Swung on and missed, and Eck records the second out of the inning. Bring up Blaine Bradford.
This Hall of Fame second baseman was team MVP 2 times and is the franchise leader with 72 sacrifice bunts. The answer is Dave Gare.
Look at that efficiency. Same half inning too.
Yeah, well.
That one line into center field, and it'll get down for a base hit for Blaine Bradford. His first one on the early season in his first game.
You know, those 72 sacrifice bunts, that might live forever as a record, because they don't bunt anymore.
I don't see that one getting past anytime soon. Jason Sims, he had a hit his last time up. Kind of single down the line, just out of the reach of Witchker. Both the A's hits in that fourth inning down that third base line. 0-1 now to Jason Sims. Fouled at the plate, 0-2.
Nice bounce back from that 2-0 loss in game 1 to get 7 runs.
Helps when you got Recklitis on the mound. I mean, Schmidt's pitched a really good game 1, but when the offense can help you out, get a couple runs feels like doubling every time with Recklitis.
Exactly.
1-2 now to Jason Sims. Looking to bring in another run. Swung on and missed, and that'll be the inning. Eck works out of 2 men on to retire the 5th inning. The A's still lead Chicago 7-0 as we'll enter the 6th.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract. Brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow. Raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
Recolaitis ready to come up there for the top of the 6th inning, and Perona welcomed him with a base hit in the first, start off the game, and no base runners since. And Witchker will welcome in 7, 8, 9, Witchker, Walkler, and Kobayashi.
Through 4 innings, Rec only had 3 strikeouts, and then he struck out the side in the 5th. Now all of a sudden he's got 6 through 5 innings.
First pitch to Witchker is in there for strike 1. If you assume Recolaitis is out for the 6th, there's no reason he wouldn't come back out there for the 7th if this inning goes smoothly. That one grounded foul left side. It'll be 0-2 now on Witchker. We were talking about Martinez earlier. He struck out 4 in a row, and right now Recolaitis has 3 in a row. All swinging. The 0-2. Did not go. It'll be 1-2 on Witchker. Nothing A's in the top of the 6th inning. No one down. 1-2 to Tim Witchker. That one lined left field, and that'll get down for a base hit. And Witchker will be content with the single. And the throw in is wild, and Witek can't make the play at first. And it'll be a single and an error to allow Witchker to get to second base.
Who gets the error?
I would assume whoever threw it from left.
Tinney?
Tinney, yeah.
That was, in this particular outing for Jared, that was his worst pitch. Just hung that one right up in the hitting zone, and Witchker made him pay.
First base runner since the first batter for Chicago. Strike 1 on the 8-hole hitter, Walkler. He's played a good right field so far. Kind of played Jason Sims perfectly, as we mentioned earlier in his first at-bat. Walkler ready for the 0-1. Grounded foul down the first base line, 0-2. The thing about Recolaitis that's made him so dominant in this outing is he's gotten ahead of almost every single hitter he's faced. No walks.
And he's ahead of Walkler, too. See if he can finish him off.
0-2 to Walkler. High, 1-2.
Casper doing a nice job behind home plate, catching Recolaitis. You know, I was thinking about this when I was looking at the lineup before we got started. Is you got a seasoned veteran like Jared on the mound with the rookie Casper. That's a good learning experience for Cal.
Number 7 strikeout for Jared Recolaitis, and another one of them swinging. All but one have been swinging. His last 6 have been. Kobayashi, the 9-hole hitter, is up for the second time. He popped out to Bradford at shortstop his last time up.
I wonder what Christian Kobayashi's nationality is.
Good question. Same thing we saw with Nahabi Didian last time.
That definitely sounds more like an Indian name.
It's kind of funny, his name was George.
Yeah, George.
Grounder to Harry. Plenty of time to retire Kobayashi, but Witchker will advance to third on the throw. 2 down now for the top of the order, Joe Perona.
think it was a good decision by Ty Wytek to not throw to third.
Yeah, he didn't really have much of a chance. The only thing that could happen is bad throw over and Whitaker would score. Corona owns one of the 2 hits off of Ricklitis so far. The other one's on base at third. First pitch to Perona. Squares to bunt, but bunts it foul. 0-1.
Yeah, doing everything he can to try and break up the shutout.
Makes sense, probably. I would assume Harry would not be expecting a bunt coming his way. 2 outs. The 0-1 to Perona. Squares again. Pulls it back and swings and misses. 0-2, 2 outs, top of the 6th. A's lead 7-0. Joseph Perona Jr. at the plate. The 0-2 pitch, grounder to Kolakowski at second. Fields throws in time to retire Perona, and the Chicago Warriors go down again without a run. Through 5.5, it's 7-0 A's. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th.
Estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Welcome back, bottom of the 6th inning, and looks like Eck is still out there for Chicago. He'll take on the top of the A's order of Kiesler, Hanselman, and Tenney. The A's offense has been powered by that big 4th inning that was pitched by Crawford. Look to extend that lead in the bottom of the 6th. Give Ricklitis, I guess, a little bit more insurance head into the 7th inning.
So if we were to score 3, the game would be over.
Be like a walk-off.
Yeah, a walk-off 10-0 win. Hardly seems fair.
Walker looks like he's going out to coach first base. Making his way down the first base line.
Whatever you can do to help the team.
You don't see many games where Gus is in attendance where he's not playing.
Yeah, for sure.
Kiesler ready to lead it off. He's been on base twice with a walk and hit by pitch, and he's flown out to center.
And we mentioned that he had a nice game 1 with 3 hits. He's 3 for 5 in the doubleheader.
Yeah, quite the day. He did bring that average down, though. He's 4 for 6 on the season now. Came into the game hitting 800. That one's outside. It'll be 1-0. Calvin Kiesler ready to face the next pitch from Eck. In there, strike 2 or strike 1.
Eck looks like he's got pretty good velocity when he wants to.
Yeah, he settled in nicely. Came into kind of a jam. That one's outside.
He came in that disastrous 4th inning and got the 2 batters he faced, and Was able to work out of a jam with a couple of strikeouts in the last inning. Actually, 1, 2, in 5 outs, he's got 3 strikeouts.
Kiesler swings and misses on a check swing, 2-2. Yeah, a lot of strikeouts recently. Recolaitis went on a little strikeout streak, struck out the side in the 5th, struck out 1 last inning. That one's low, 3-2.
Kiesler looks like a player. Mentioned from Oshkosh.
St. Olaf College swings and misses at that one. And that'll be the first out. Another strikeout for Tom Eck. I'll bring up Chase Hanselman, who's had quite the day.
Alex Ames pinch hitting.
Never mind. Alex Ames will be the pinch hitter. Ames hasn't played too much so far this year. He's in 200 in limited action. First pitch is in there for strike 1.
Last year, Alex played in 36 games, had 80 at-bats. His batting average was low at 213, but
his on-base percentage was really high, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he had 20 walks. On base was 414. So, yeah, that's good.
You don't see a 200-point jump from average top base percentage.
Exactly, right.
Swing and a miss from Ames.
Well, he's done. Strikeout.
Struck him out swinging. That'll be 2 outs now. Another one for...
Eck must have something going because we do not look comfortable swinging the bat against him.
Thank goodness he didn't come in after Martinez. Otherwise, we'd be a little bit more...
It could be closer.
Yeah. Tenney up now. That one's in there, strike 1. Like you mentioned, Eck worked out of that jam in the 4th inning. He had a couple runners on last inning, but got out of it without giving up any damage.
Oh, ball hit the electric pole and stayed on this side of the street. Little kid saw it. He's going to hustle out there, see if he can get it.
That one, a little tap, check swing, Tenney, and plenty of time to retire him, and that will retire the side in the 6th. The A's up 7-0 as we enter the 7th. Recolaitis looks to shut the door on Chicago.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Top of the 7th, the last chance for Chicago to try and make a comeback. Recolaitis will be there again. He has been sensational so far today, facing 1 over the minimum and giving up 2 hits, no walks, and he struck out 7.
Hey, the 50-50 winner is just called for this game 2. $51 in the pot. First game, Denny gave away, I think it was $126.
First pitch in there for strike 1.
Anthony Nino 0 for 2 in the ball game. Ooh, Enzo Verducci in there.
Swing and miss by Verducci. It's 0-2 on him quickly. crazy thing to be sitting down on the bench the entire game and to come in and face Ricklitis. The 0-2 to Verducci. Struck him out swinging. Number 8 for Ricklitis today. And that's one down for Chicago.
Boy, Rick has just been dominating today. Yeah, pinch hitter again, number 24.
Dylan Doulis.
He got up in the first game and struck out.
Strike one on Doulis. The 0-1 now from Ricklitis. One down in the 7th. Swing and a foul tip. 0-2. One down. 7-0 A's. Ever since, pretty much since the start of the game, it's been all A's. Big 4th inning really boosted the lead, gave him some assurance. Chicago really has never had an answer for Jared Ricklitis on the mound.
We like it like that.
They haven't really had an answer for anyone on the mound other than one inning where they got a little bit of a break with an error. Score a couple runs.
Gotta give them credit though, because I believe, there were 2 outs when those hits came for them. So they were clutch hits.
The 0-2 from Ricklitis. Low. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Casper will throw over first for the 2-3 putout, but another strikeout for Jared Ricklitis. 2 down. Looking to strike out the side for the second time. John Greenwood still stays in the game to hit.
9 Ks in a ball game.
Looking to make it double digits now, as Marty said, 9 of them.
And might have a good opportunity at it too. Greenwood is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts.
That one's low. 1-0. This game's gone a little quicker than game 1. Game 1 a little over 2 hours. This game about a little under 2 hours, hour and a half.
Yeah, about like hour and 31 minutes so far, or so.
2-0 now on John Greenwood. He's looking to shut the door. Pitch is grounder to short. Bradford handles, throws, and nice pick by Witek to seal the deal. The A's dominate and win 7-0 over Chicago. And a great pitching performance from Jared Ricklitis. Faced just 1 over the minimum, gave up 2 hits. One of them was doubled off. And the A's offense came to life in game 2, scoring 7 runs. Chase Hanselman had a huge home run in the 2nd inning, but it was the 4th inning with a ton of walks. A couple hits in there that really did all. The final line score for Jared Ricklitis is 7 shutout innings with 2 hits and 9 strikeouts. Couldn't quite get to the double-digit strikeout number, but another great day for him on the mound. Caleb Martinez gets the loss, pitched 3 innings, 4 hits, gave up 2 earned runs. One of them was that home run. And then the A's, they'll play their next home game. One of their last exhibition game will be against Sussex Cardinals Wednesday, June 4th at 7:30 p.m. For Marty, and I'm Lucas Scholze. We'll see you down the road.